to another episode of the Woo Pig Podcast, where we're talking about everything Arkansas Razorback football and basketball every Monday and Friday at 8 a.m. I am your host, Oliver O.D., and you know who I got in the building.
You got your boy G Holmes in the building, aka Big Sexy. Somebody holler for me.
Oh my God!
And the Woo Pig Podcast is honored to introduce the only Arkansas Razorback quarterback to win back-to-back conference championships and to lead a team to back-to-back Cotton Bowl appearances. He lettered in every year that he suited up. In his career, he passed for 4,496 yards and rushed for 1,746. He was inducted into the Arkansas Sports Hall of Honor in 2001, inducted into the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame in 2011. And in 2016, he was inducted into the Southwest Conference Hall of Fame. He joined the Arkansas Razorback radio broadcasting team in 2000 as a sideline reporter. Currently, he is a co-host of the Arkansas Daily, and he is the color analyst every Saturday for your Arkansas Razorbacks. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for Mr. Quinn Grovey.
Oh my God! You need to go hit that big sexy. Hit that big sexy, yo. Oh my God! Right there after that introduction. I like it.
Awesome, man. Thank you for coming on the Woo Pig Podcast, man. Embracing us with your presence, man. We definitely appreciate it, and taking out some time for the little guys, man. We appreciate it.
No, it ain't the little guys, man. I appreciate what y'all are doing, and I've seen some of the stuff that y'all have done, and y'all dropping some great content. Y'all doing it cutting edge stuff, and so it's good to see y'all doing that. And I'm glad to be here and glad to help in any kind of way I can.
Awesome, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Well, we're not gonna hold up a whole bunch of your time. We know it's precious, so we're gonna jump right into it. One of my first questions, and one thing I always wondered about. With players coming from different states, when you're young, you're no doubt rooting for the home state that you come from. Those teams in those states. You being from Oklahoma and deciding to come play in Arkansas, how did that make you feel?
Well, it was the best decision for me. It was the best decision. I would make that 10 out of 10 times after seeing how my career changed. But when you leave a state like Oklahoma, who back then was running my type of offense, who was winning a lot of games, playing for national championships, when you leave a state like that that's hungry and those fans are hungry, it can make for difficult situations. I mean, but at the end of the day, I felt more comfortable with Coach Hatfield, with the players that I met up here. And it was just a good feeling. I mean, my mom and dad, they were all over the University of Arkansas, from living arrangements to potential playing time to just the landscape of the university. Where my mom said this to me. My mom usually don't say things like this. She's like, if you come to the University of Arkansas, I'm not going to tell you where to go. But if you come to the University of Arkansas, I believe that you will be able, if you win games, stay out of trouble, do things you need to do, you'll be able to provide for your family in a meaningful way. And she was right. I mean, the University of Arkansas has been a great choice for me. It's been a great decision, and it's allowed me to do a lot of things in life that a lot of people wouldn't get a chance to do. And I'm thankful I made that decision, and I was able to take advantage of all those opportunities. But coming up, and look, I'm gonna tell you right now, the crazy thing about it is, whenever I went to Arkansas my first year, we ended up playing Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl. Now, how crazy is that? We played Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl. I wish I would have been able to play, but I was redshirting as a freshman. But the fans were pretty rough back at home in Duncan. My dad, who did not like to fly, he was a military veteran. He spent a lot of time flying. He's like, I'm never flying again. So he didn't make the trip to Miami, but my mom and my grandparents did. So they were there in the stands at the Orange Bowl, even though I wasn't playing. But every time Oklahoma beat us 42-8 that day, killed us.
Mm.
But every time Oklahoma scored, people drove by our house in Oklahoma and threw oranges in the yard. Our yard was
No.
full of oranges. And I love my people in Duncan. I like to think it was somebody from people from Norman driving down to throw
I know,
oranges in the
right?
yard. I ain't gonna put it on the people in Duncan, but hey, people do strange things when it comes to their allegiance.
Absolutely.
That is crazy. That is crazy. Well, man, that's a great line. So what we're gonna do now, too, man? I just want to ask a question, kind of leading into these current Razorbacks. You get to see them week in and week out. This year, what side of the ball do you really feel like is going to make the biggest impact this season?
Well, I think it's going to be if I had to answer your question directly, it's going to be the defensive side of the ball. I think you're going to see them
Mm,
be much better. I think you're going to see a defensive line that is close to being too deep. And that's one of the big things
mm,
that you got to be able to have in the SEC, whether it's the offensive line, defensive line, you got to be able to play in the trenches. I do believe the guys that they have on that defensive front are big, they're strong, they played a lot of football, and you've got guys that you got it too deep there. I think you got that. So, and then I think you
yeah,
got some athletic linebackers that you hadn't seen in a long time. They played a lot of ball as well. Nobody knows who they are. They're transfers in, um, but man, I'm telling you, speed, knowledge. I mean, they can
yeah,
do what they need to do to make things happen. And then the secondary, I think you probably got one of the most athletic secondaries that you had just because of transfers. Sam Pittman and his staff has done a fantastic job with the portal and bringing in guys that can help you right off the bat. And I think you're going to see a defense along, with Travis Williams. I think you're going to see a very aggressive defense, but you've got guys on that field that can play. You don't know who a lot of those names right now. They'll be household names by week 3. You'll be excited about them. So I think the defense is going to I think that's going to make the bigger impact simply because KJ's been doing his thing. Rocket's been doing his thing. So I think when
yeah,
you've got the best quarterback in the SEC, in my opinion, in KJ Jefferson, you got the best running back in the SEC. Offense is going to be fine. But if I had to say who's going to make the biggest leap and the biggest impact, I think it's going to be the defense. But I do know that KJ and his offense is going to be pretty good as well.
yeah. He was kind of
Yeah.
leaning that way too.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the things we've been talking about is the defense. Because man, we was barbecue chicken a lot of times, last year in the secondary, bro. We was getting beat on some stuff. So I'm looking for also for the defense to make a huge, huge impact this season.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely. Now it's time to get into the barbershop part of this podcast. Yeah.
Okay.
What?
All right. All right.
So my question, it's a 2-part question. What team in the SEC do you hate losing to the most? And what do you think about the fact that we ain't beat Alabama in 17 years?
So the first part is Texas A&M, simply because I have a running history with them. I mean, with me playing with them in the Southwest Conference, playing against them in the Southwest Conference. So Texas A&M is the team that I do not like to lose to. Period. Just simply because I played against a lot of those guys and I hear from those guys, and so that expands across several years. So that's the answer. With that for me. As far as Alabama, I mean, it's a bad thing. I mean, it's tough, man. I mean, Nick Saban and they've owned us, and yeah, it's not much else you can say other than that. I mean, you got to find a way. Hopefully, the football gods come in your favor one year, but as long as Nick Saban's there, that's going to be very, very difficult. We played them really, really tough though in
We did.
Tuscaloosa. Had a chance to do some things. And then we played them here, and Milroe, their backup quarterback, absolutely just took over the game with his legs. So I feel like we're getting closer to that and winning that football game. Because if you're beating Alabama with the way they played over the last few years, if you're beating them, then you have a chance to play for a national championship. That's really
Exactly.
what it
Because you
comes
beat a lot of
down
other
to.
people.
Yeah, that's right. So if you beat them, you might as well do all the other heavy lifting to do all that other stuff. And I think Sam is getting
Absolutely.
that mentality ready for that. But you're right. Yeah, 16, 17 years, whatever the number is. What I do understand is Sam Pittman is putting together a process where you feel comfortable that you're going to get closer. So I'm really going to focus in on the last 3 years and focus in on this fourth year that Sam has and see what we can come up with. Alabama, they're ripe right now in regards to not having a quarterback, but I will say to people who say, well, Alabama's going to struggle because they don't have a quarterback. Nick Saban has been a coach that's played without quarterbacks several years. And so he
Mm-hmm.
knows how to win games without a quarterback. He knows how to win games with a game manager. But yeah, I think people think the shine is wearing off Nick a little bit, but the guy is probably the best football coach from a college perspective
Mhm.
of all time. So you can't. I mean, as long as he's around, you're gonna have to worry about him coming up with something. But I think eventually you hopefully you can get him, and hopefully with a guy like a KJ Jefferson, who's a senior quarterback or potentially in his last year as a quarterback, gives you an opportunity to get that W. It'll be tough though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Taking a quick break to come in and thank you guys for being a part of the Woo Pig podcast family. We sincerely want to thank you guys for your comments, your likes, your subscribes, sharing the video. We really appreciate it. And we want to just thank you for that. We hope that you're enjoying this presentation, this video that we're bringing to you. We really hope you're digging it. So before we get up out of here, while we were doing the live stream the other night, one of the subscribers said, hey man, I would love to, send you a super thanks. And because we hadn't reached that part of our journey, we couldn't accept the super thanks. But it got me to thinking of ways that we could accept, whatever you guys want to, give to us. We want to be able to accept that. So I've created Cash Apps as well as Venmos for the Woo Pig podcast. While I'm talking, you'll see it flash on your screen. You'll be able to scan the QR code and actually donate straight to the Woo Pig podcast. Or you can check out our TeeSping account where we got our first shirts. I said what I said with the Woo Pig podcast logo on there. So you can check that out as well. Now, with me saying all that, let's get back to the show.
So not that you mentioned AJ. So you as a former great quarterback, you've watched KJ over the last 3 years. You've seen him develop. You've seen some of the mistakes that he's made and some, what he's done to rectify those. Arguably, like you say, one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC this year. What do you think he is bringing to the table this year that's going to solidify him as that top quarterback in the SEC?
Well, I think the first thing is I don't think people really understand KJ's football IQ. Um, the guy is super smart when it comes to being able to process information, um, understanding that when he makes a mistake, he's not going to make it again. And I'll go back to the last couple of years. I mean, I think he threw 5 interceptions 2 years ago, 6 interceptions. Let me see how many he threw last year. 5 interceptions last year. I mean, the guy, like, you feel like he's not going to turn the football over while
Yeah.
being able to deliver you a big play in a big situation. When it's 3rd and 8 or whatever, KJ will do whatever it takes to get that first down. And so I love the fact that his football IQ is extremely high. He protects the football on the back end. and he's able to make in-game changes on the sideline that really gives you an opportunity to run things on the field whenever you hadn't practiced it. I mean, like, you want to practice things, but sometimes you go, okay, they're running this defense that we hadn't seen in a long time. This is what was very effective. We hadn't run this play in a long time. How comfortable do you feel about it? And KJ is a guy that can pick that up really, really quickly. I will say this is really a stupid thing, a silly thing, but KJ and I, we play a lot of Madden. Okay, and that's the PlayStation game, the football game on
OD, that's a competition.
Hey,
yeah, we play a lot of Madden.
Quinn don't want that smoke. You don't want that smoke.
Come on now.
You don't want that smoke.
Look, I'll take it right after this podcast. I mean, I'll put my dinner on hold to show you. I want that smoke. That's what I'll do. Hey, and you can video it and put it on your next podcast. So
say less. Say less.
But what I'm saying is, KJ and I have become really, really close over the last couple of years. But even when you're playing like a video game, and like I always say this on my podcast, Razorback fans, me and KJ are not playing video games during the season. I'm not taking away any of his preparation time or anything like that. So don't be mad about that. But what I will say is Madden is sneaky. It's very sneaky in regards to all the real concepts that you have to deal with in the NFL. I mean, cover 6, cover 9, zone reads, all that kind of stuff. You got to deal with that. And so when I'm playing against KJ and we're talking on the headset, I can hear him saying, okay, I see what you're trying to do with that safety. I see you move that linebacker. You better get him right in this position. That cornerback's playing inside leverage. You better. So what I'm saying is he sees a lot of stuff, and I see that translate on the field for me.
Gotcha.
When I see KJ out there, I don't think that KJ is going to make a whole lot of mistakes. I feel like he's going to protect the football. He doesn't want to make a mistake. And the biggest thing for KJ this year, though, is going to be bringing along a whole new receiving core, and then he's got to find a way to stay healthy. Sometimes when you're 6'3", 250, or whatever his weight is, you want to run somebody over. Mm-hmm. And, that could lead to you being on the sideline. And the biggest way to get productivity is keep your tail out there on the field. And so having KJ run out of bounds to save his body or whatever, unless it's third down and short or fourth down or whatever, you got to make that, be smart about that. And if he does that, he's going to have a fantastic year. People just really don't understand how good the guy is mentally. And I'm telling you right now, he should have a great season.
I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really excited about that.
Well, being that we got a couple of new reused coordinators, and I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna tell you a little story real quick. I got blocked on Twitter by Brent Bielema, and so Dan Enos is guilty by association. So I give Dan Enos, I give him a hard time. But with our new coordinators that we got here on the Hill, how do you feel that they are going to impact what we see as fans on the field?
So, start with Dan Enos. I think Dan Enos is a great offensive coordinator. So you and Dan's relationship, I don't know. I'm gonna let y'all work through that. But I see him as a great offensive coordinator. And I think this is actually a great change for KJ at this time, simply because all the NFL teams, they're not going to run a bunch of under center stuff. Dan is going to put KJ under center. He's going to force KJ to do some things like NFL quarterbacks, meaning play action pass. Okay, turn your back to the defense with that play action pass. How are you working those fundamentals? And then flip your head back around to get back into your read and your progression. Those are the kind of things that's going to help him as he moves to the next level. Dan is going to be a guy that wants to run a whole lot of 12 personnel, some 13 personnel when you get in tough situations. And what I mean by that, when I say 12 personnel, 13 personnel, I'm basically saying you're looking at the running back position and the tight end position. And so when you say 12 personnel, you're saying one running back and two tight ends. When you're saying 13 personnel, you're saying 1 running back and 3 tight ends, and then the rest are filled in by wide receivers. So, Kendall used to run a lot of 11, just the 1 tight end and 3 wide receivers in the back. But you'll see some 12. And what I like about that is Sam wants to run the ball. Sam has big offensive linemen. And so when you go 12 personnel, now what you're doing is saying, okay, defense, you got to make a decision. I've got 2 big tight ends in here. We got this big offensive line, and Rocket's ready to get downhill on you. So when we go 12 personnel, what are you going to do? Are you going to put another linebacker in to stop the run? Or are you going to bring in a safety to really try to cover from a pass perspective? Because we got tight ends like a Luke Haas or Washington that can run, that can really eat up space in the middle of the field. So when you got those 2 tight ends that can run, that can catch the ball and block, that's going to force the defense to do something a little bit different. So I think it gives you an opportunity for a lot of mismatches with that. So I think there's going to be a huge focus on the run game, a conventional run game. I think KJ probably won't run the football as much as he has in the past, but I think you'll see him be more efficient. And he's a great play caller, so I love the fact that he'll put KJ in a great position to be successful. It's now just about bringing those wide receivers along and being explosive on the outside. And if you can get that, I think Dan Enos is going to add a ton of value offensively from a play calling standpoint. He's been here before. He's worked with Sam Pittman, so there's a lot of familiarity there. And then you look at defense. T. Will is a guy that's been around a long time. With the athletes that he has on defense, I think you're going to see a very aggressive defense. I know we talk about it every single year, being aggressive and doing this, and you got to get more pressure, you got to get more sacks, you got to get more QB hurries, you got to get more all this kind of stuff. I just think they're going to be fundamentally sound, and I just think that they've got so many athletes. So I think when you look at T. Will, a smart guy who will put together a great game plan but relates to everybody on that defense, and they want to play for him like crazy. And now that they've created that 2 deep on the defensive front, I think that gives you a great chance. And so development and being able to communicate are 2 things that he does extremely well. And I think you'll see that on the defensive front, which led to my answer on the initial question of thinking the defense is going to be very productive.
Okay. Appreciate
I can agree with that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So with that being said, for me, my prediction for this year, I've said it. I say we're going 11-1. OD.
Wow.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, man. I say 11. I say 11-1 because of that.
My God!
Because of that defense. That's what I'm saying. Now OD got us. What you got us at, OD?
Hey man, I'm a skeptic. I ain't gonna lie. They gotta show me. And
Sucker.
I'm saying the Hall's going 7-5.
Sucker MC. See, but and so we argue about that because I'm saying if we go 7-5, that means we lost some games that on paperwork we should have won, and that's unacceptable. So Quinn, what is your prediction for this year?
Oh, you definitely in the position I'm in. I ain't giving no prediction. There ain't no way I'm giving a prediction about what's going to take place. The good thing about my job is I get a chance to be up there and describe the action. I love it.
As it's
but
happening.
but I do believe, when I look at rankings and projections of teams and what they're going to do, I'm very surprised that the media had Arkansas. I think it was 5th. When you consider KJ Jefferson being what he is, I'm surprised, and to me that lets me know that they do not understand the type of speed and strength that they have that they brought into this defense. I just think that that's the thing that people are not really taking a look at. So, I'm not going. I can't give you a number. I just think it'll be a very productive season.
I take
it. And getting to a bowl game is really the first thing that you got to be able to do. But we need to consistently get to the point where we're winning 8, 9, and then win 10 or 11 every 3-4 years, something like that. Whatever the formula is. But we just need to stay away from them 2 and 10s and then 3 and 8s and
6 and
all that
6.
kind of stuff. Yeah,
Terrible.
yeah. So, but I think Sam, he's got the right staff here, and again, we to me we got the best quarterback in the conference, and that gives you a chance.
Thank you for checking out the first part of our interview with Quinn Grovey. Come back next week, next Friday, same time here on the WuPig Podcast, where we will be releasing part 2 of our interview. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified when that video drops, and also when we drop other content just like this one. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out, and don't forget to subscribe. And we'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.